Hello everyone, welcome back to TechZulu Live here at New Media Expo in Las Vegas. I am now joined by one of a two-part series of Peters, that is, you will understand later. I am joined with Peter VanRysdam of 352 Media Group. You spoke about conversion optimization earlier today, yes?
I did. I was actually earlier, a couple days ago now,
right.
but yeah, spoke about optimizing conversions for your website and specifically here for your blog, because a lot of people kind of forget about conversions when you're talking about blogs. You're thinking about readers and views, but you still have to look at it that way and set those goals. And
that's a very fair point. People always talk about conversion optimization when it comes to their corporate sites and building out landing pages and microsites and all that sort of thing, but you don't hear people talking about that with blogs. So if, just for an example with my personal blog, what are some things that I could do, some really basic tips to help optimize conversions?
Well, the first kind of comes back to defining that conversion and what it means for you. So, on an e-commerce site, that's easy. Did I sell something? I got a conversion. Our website, we're looking for leads, so a lead is a conversion for us.
Right.
With a blog, you can be talking about everything from ad views to subscribers to referrals for your business, if that's what you're looking for, or consulting business that you get out of your blog as well. So, it depends on what your specific blog is looking to do, but from there it's really just about getting people focused on the call to action and making sure that call to action stands out in the right ways. There's a lot of ways, with color and contrast and photography and different things you can do to emphasize that, so people can look at your site immediately and know this is where they want me to go and this is where I should go.
If I am someone who, say, has a lot of educational materials and, I do a number of, let's just say, online courses and whatnot. Well, I don't do this. I'm a reporter, but if I were, and I had things to download, here's a guide to blah, blah, blah. Say that's my conversion is getting people to download said document. What would be the best way to, optimize that?
Well, it's a little cliche, but you definitely want to get that information above the fold, get it high on your website. Think about the way people read the site. So, normally, unless we're talking about Hebrew or Arabic, we're talking about left to right and top down. So, if something is on the upper right of your site, it's probably going to get lost. That's where you expect to see the search box, the contact info. So you want it prominent, and if you've got other headlines on your site and other content, you want it to be a little bit larger than that, so it just visually stands out. And that's the key, because people come to your site, they're not going to sit there and read every single word of text, they're going to scan. And so it's got to be something that they can easily figure out what that means and digest. Another thing I'd recommend too is being really cognizant of the words you're using on the call to action. So we get kind of caught up in ourselves and the way that we talk in the industry, and you got to think about how does my viewer or as my reader, how are they going to understand that, and what are they looking for, what do they call it? And so if it's download our free ebook, that's what it should say. It shouldn't say, visit our resource library of, because they don't know what that means. So put it in the words that they're going to understand.
What are your thoughts with A/B testing and all of that? How do you tell what's going to convert best?
Sure, A/B testing is huge, and I love it. And we've found that a lot of times we'll launch a site and we've done some usability testing on it, and we can find some things right away that we can A/B test and improve. So A/B testing is really important with things like the color and a little bit of the placement and the words as well, if you're not sure what to call something.
What about time of day? When someone's coming to my site, coming to my blog, and in the morning versus afternoon when they're eating lunch?
Yeah, potentially that could be something where you could change the call to action if you realize that different people coming at different times are looking for different things. A lot of times I've been saying call to action, but there may be more than one, and you don't want to get really past 2, 3 maybe, but you got to recognize that you might have, in the example you used, you might have an individual coming to read something, you might have an educator coming to read something, and they're looking for 2 different things, so you've got to have 2 different calls to action. So yeah, potentially time of day wise, if you have those different things and you can tell with your audience, you can put some things in place to kind of swap those out.
And with my personal blog, does it make sense to also incorporate various landing pages that I'm pushing people to?
Yeah, definitely. Landing pages are a great way to get people exactly where they want to go right away without having to come through the homepage and then find it. with a landing page, you just want to make sure you kind of take away some of the clutter, so that if you've got them where you want them to go, the last thing you want them to do is leave. So a lot of times we suggest maybe you leave the top navigation, that's the main things, but get rid of some of the sub-navigation on the left or right of the site, and the things that are going to detract and pull people away. I mean, you want to have your Facebook likes and your Twitter stuff there, but you don't want them to leave and go to Facebook when you got them where you got them to go. So
Exactly. How did you get into the business of conversion optimization?
Well, I'm actually with a web development company, so we design websites all the time, and really we've been doing this about 15 years. So it went from just the purely informational sites and everything kind of looked the same to now we're really having to get into the usability testing and the A/B testing and personas and all that kind of stuff to build a website.
Mm-hmm. Have you thought at all about how we can deal with conversion optimization on mobile?
Yeah, I mean that's a really important thing as well. I mean, so many people are shopping there now, and so really the same principles apply. I mean, you've got to even get simpler, and one of the things people suggest from a usability perspective on your website is take the content, cut it in half, and then cut it in half one more time. With the
Sounds
mobile,
like you're baking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with the mobile, you take 1 cup of. You want to cut even more. I mean, you don't want that erroneous text there that's just pushing all of your calls to action down. So. But that's certainly important.
Anything else in terms of, like we've got multiple screens to deal with now. People are developing things for the desktop, for iPhone, iOS, for Android, for tablets. I mean, how do you deal with that as a web development shop?
Well, 2 things there. So the first thing is in Google Analytics, if you have that set up on your site, which you should, you can easily see how people are viewing your site. So there's actually a visual where it'll show you lines of the widths that most people can view on your site. So you can realize, hey, if my call to action is in this spot where only 40% of my viewers can see it, that's a bad spot.
The rest of them don't know it's there.
Exactly. So the second thing is responsive design. That's something we're getting really big into. It's kind of one of those new buzzwords. But
what does that mean?
So basically responsive design, as opposed to saying, hey, I've got a website and I've got a mobile app, and then when I want to update something, I've got to go to the web and I've got to go to the app and re-upload that. Responsive design is basically one website, one HTML file, but it recognizes the width of the browser and changes. So what it'll do is if you're on your desktop, you're looking at it and you see the full site, you bring it down to tablet width, and you can see it by dragging the site on the desktop. It'll change, the menu might move a little bit to where it's more easy to see, gets rid of some images, and then you keep going on down to a phone size, and your images are mostly gone, and you can kind of change all those things with the menu structure and how things are displayed. So what's great about that is you need to make a change, you make it one time, and you've got a tablet, mobile, and web.
If I want a site that has responsive design built into it, can I find that through like a WordPress template, or is that something that is only being done by shops like yours right now? I think I know what you're going to answer me now.
Well, you should definitely call. No. I honestly don't know if WordPress does it now, but it's you've probably heard HTML5 and things like CSS3. Those are the technologies that make this happen. So it's just a matter of implementing those things on your site. So I'm sure you could do it within a WordPress site. I don't think it's something that's baked in, though.
Okay.
So you'd still need us to do.
Yeah, I still need you. Of course we would. So aside from, you had a great panel. What other panels have you been to here at New Media Expo, or actually, what are some interesting conversations even that you've had since you've been here?
Yeah, quite a few, and that's what's been so great about this conference is that they did a really good job with social ahead of time, so that you knew a lot of people before you got here that you wouldn't have known otherwise. So I went to some good panels on. We're trying to get into some podcasting, video podcasting. So went to some great things about how to set that up, how to do the live video.
Yeah.
So
you should be talking to TechZulu.
I'm taking notes right now.
I mean, come on.
But yeah, so really just some of those technologies that kind of make that happen. That's kind of what I've been focused on. Got another one of my associates here that's kind of in charge of our content and does a lot of writing. So it's been great to meet a lot of different bloggers to connect with and just platforms to help get our posts out there.
Nice. Yeah. So, Peter, if we want to follow you or potentially hire your company, where should we go?
You should, yeah. Well, our website is www.352media.com. Okay. You can follow us on Twitter at 352 Media Group, and I'm personally at Peter352, so you can follow me there too.
Makes it easy to remember. Yeah. Peter352, Peter VanRysdam, and you have to at least tell everyone what your last name means.
What it means? It means the rising of the dam. It's Dutch. Yes.
VanRysdam.
It sounds ominous. I'm not sure what it really was.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully we will see you at yet another New Media Expo.
Yeah, and enjoy your next Peter.
I will. It's just a day of Peter. Peter and Peter. Thanks, everybody.